Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. Amanda Serrano, she is back. And Amanda Serrano is looking to do the business when she gets ready to face against her opponent. Matter of fact, I'll show you. Her opponent right here. Let me tell you, it's going to be good, man. Lucrecia Manzur. Well, that's a name for you, isn't it? But anyway, I'll let somebody else who speaks Spanish pronounce that first and last and middle and last name. But this is Serrano, man. 49 damn fights. 49 fights. That's crazy. But she turned pro back in 2009, so she's been grinding it out, man. You know what I'm saying? That is crazy. 2009, 2019, this woman been out here fighting a long, long time. You know what I'm saying? So that's why she had so many fights and she stayed active, man. You know, 5'5", 5'6", man, 32 KOs, 4 losses. She was never defeated by knockout. And she gets busy, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is this. She has a huge opportunity this Friday to get a knockout on TikTok Live. As a matter of fact, let's do this because that sun is bright outside and I ain't closing my shade. Let's do this. Because sun is good. I almost feel like I got some sultry weather going on here. When you take a look at Big Serrano against Manzur, Serrano's chasing a record that could define her legacy forever. You know what I'm saying? This isn't just another title defense for Serrano. She enters that fight on 21 August with 49 wins, 4 losses, a draw, 32 knockouts, tied with legendary women's boxer Christy Martin, the coal miner's daughter, a pioneer for the most professional knockouts in women's boxing history. Now, I'm going to tell you, Manzur comes in, 14 wins, 4 losses. She has 7 KOs, ranked number 2 by the WBO. So she's not a tomato can. She got something special about those hands, too. But what makes this whole thing fascinating is she's not just trying to win. She's really trying to become the woman with the most knockouts in boxing history. Christy Martin has held that record for quite some time, and now Serrano. And you look at it, doesn't seem to be any other woman out there coming anywhere close to achieving what Christy Martin achieved and what Serrano could possibly achieve this Friday when she gets back in the squared circle. Now, Christy Martin. If anyone knows anything about women's boxing, when you think about Christy Martin, her name has been synonymous with power in women's boxing. Now, Serrano, she's reached 32 knockouts, but her name is also synonymous with power in women's boxing. But one more stoppage puts Serrano at 33 and will give her sole possession of the record. Now, that is an enormous achievement because Serrano has built her career around doing something, I would say, very unusual. As a woman, she's not just winning fights, she's finishing them. And she's done it across multiple weight classes. And that's what matters. That means that Serrano got something special about them hands. Shit, if Serrano was my woman and I was like, hey, get your ass in there and make me a sandwich. And she said, do what? Sorry, honey. Because I don't want any problems. Because Serrano will put the Puerto Rican beans on your ass. She doing it across multiple weight classes, you know what I mean? She ain't nothing but the female Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? That's all. He did 8 weight divisions. She did 7. To be stopping people, man, that's crazy. But the official MVP announcement identifies Serrano as a 7-division world champion, which is the truth. And they say the fight will be a unified WBA, WBO featherweight championship contest, which I think is just going to result in Serrano not hanging him up. I think she's going to fight Alicia Baumgartner. But hey, what do I know? That's just what I think. I think end of this year, early next year. I just think that's going to happen. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But that's neither here nor there. What matters is what this means for Puerto Rico. There's another layer to all of this, man. Serrano has repeatedly carried the Puerto Rican flag, and to all her boxing events, she carries it in her heart. She carries it everywhere. But to be honest, that don't make her special. Every goddamn Puerto Rican I know, look, man, my family from Trinidad and Tobago, man. From Tingland. I got cousins actually born in Grenada. I got buddies from Jamaica, St. Thomas, St. Croix, Dominican Republic. Everybody rep their flags. Everybody does. But them goddamn Puerto Ricans, you go to their house, Puerto Rican napkins. You understand? The fork have Puerto Rican flag on it. The spoon have Puerto Rican flag. The dog bowl is our Puerto Rican flag. Puerto Rico, Puerto Rico. Now, we ridiculous too, but them Puerto Rican the most ridiculous. You mean to tell me you go over there, man, and the tissue have Puerto Rican flags in it? Like, that's too much, goddammit. That's way too much. But she's already established herself as one of the most accomplished female fighters for her generation. She reps that flag and she reps Puerto Rico. But for her to become the all-time women's knockout leader gives her another distinction, you know what I'm saying? And that's power. You know what I mean? That's not just championships, not just longevity in the sport, not just popularity, but power. And her name is already synonymous with power. But if she breaks the record, it is what it is. And I don't see nobody coming along and breaking that anytime soon. I just think somebody would have to be fighting for a long time. And you got to have heavy hands. You got to be able to do the business. But I'm telling you, it ain't a guaranteed win. Manzur is not supposed to be a prop. This is where the whole fight becomes interesting. Manzur isn't walking into the ring to just participate for Amanda Serrano's celebration. No, she's legit, man. She's a legit contender. A record again, 18 fights. And out of that 18, she had 14 wins and four losses, 7 knockouts, ranked number 2 by the WBO. That's important, man. Because the easiest way for Serrano to lose a historical moment was, I would say, would be to underestimate Manzur. Like, the record's already been broken. Like, you can't be out here popping champagne or in the ring sprinkling Saison con achiote. You can't do that shit. You got to be cool there, Serrano. You fighting for history. Manzur is fighting to destroy history. She ain't trying to let that go. So just imagine the story if Manzur walks into Temecula and stops Serrano from getting the record. That would instantly become one of the biggest upsets in women's boxing. And you know who would be on social media running her mouth? Man, please. Clarissa Shields be there running her mouth. Serrano lost some 14-4. Man, please. She ain't getting no knockout record, although Clarissa only has 4 knockouts. And that last one, does it count? She got a stoppage. The corner stopped the fight. But Serrano is the truth. And I think she's going to win. That's just me. But I think with her, she has an enemy. And her enemy's not age or nothing like that. It's expectation. And I think that creates a bit of a psychological battle. Everybody expects Serrano to win. There's a difference between I need to win and I need to knock her out. That second mentality can create problems. Because Serrano may be hunting for the knockout too aggressively. And we see what happens, man. You abandon fundamentals and these things that made you successful, and somebody makes you pay because you overcommit or get too wild. See, she don't need to force a stoppage. Just do like she normally does, box and let the stoppage come to her. Who cares if you knock her out in the first 10 seconds or you knock her out in the last 10 seconds of the 12th round? It doesn't matter. And to the matter of fact, to let y'all know, it's my understanding they're doing 12 2-minute formatted rounds. And that format matters, I didn't realize it was 12. I know she does 3-minute rounds, but it's 12 2-minute rounds. So again, it's historic. Because now you're talking about 12 2-minute rounds, making it the first unified women's championship fight to use that format, and it's on TikTok. So that it just creates an overall interesting strategic dynamic. Shorter means for Amanda, faster start, less time for fights to recover, more urgency, more opportunities for combinations, potentially greater pressure on judges, and less time for a hurt fighter to survive. So for Serrano, that could actually help her aggressive style. She can press the action without having to navigate 3-minute rounds. You know what I'm saying? So that's a very, very interesting layer to what we're going to see when she gets in the ring this Friday. Now, the whole TikTok thing, I don't know what to think about it. I don't know. I've never seen it. But it could be just as important as Amanda making history as the most knockouts when it comes to female boxing. But MVP and TikTok, they're presenting the event as the first championship boxing event broadcast through TikTok Live. Serrano, I wonder how this is going to work out, but I think this is her attempt at history. And I think they're also looking at trying to gain, I think, a massive digital audience. And I think that's huge for women's boxing. Think about what that could mean. If it works out for them, everybody else is going to do it. Someone has never they're targeting that young crowd. Someone who's never purchased a boxing pay-per-view could potentially stumble across Amanda Serrano chasing the all-time KO record. That's how you introduce a new audience to the sport, and that's what Jake Paul and his team are targeting. If this works out, they're going to be up and away. You know what I'm saying? Now, if Serrano gets the KO, well, then hold your horses, and let's not take it to the stupid. all of a sudden the implications become enormous. She stops Manzur, walks away, 33 professional KOs, sole possession of the women's boxing knockout record. Suddenly, every future female fighter who becomes known as a puncher, they got another name to chase. You know what I'm saying? Serrano, shit, that's the legacy, man. And when you have records, it creates a target and people shoot for it. So what does this mean for women's boxing? It means women's boxing is up and away. All the women out here whose names keep trending, they're doing great things for the sport. They're keeping the name out there. They're keeping women's boxing on everybody's radar. You know what I mean? All of the women who are keeping boxing, women's boxing alive, they're keeping us talking about it. So you got to put some respect on the name. But when it comes to Serrano, I think it's more just like somebody saying, "Well, women's boxing is growing." Hood, nah. I think that conversation flips, and it's more like Serrano just broke the all-time women's knockout record. Like that's easier for casual sport fans to understand. If I say, yeah, women's boxing is growing, they can't really connect with that shit. But if I say, yo, they have a fighter, Amanda Serrano, just broke the all-time women's knockout record. That is that's that tagline. That's what really gets your attention. It's like, what? A knockout record? A woman knockout record? Well, what was the record? 32. She has 33. Oh, yeah, she's been fighting almost 20 years. What? You see, that gets a person engaged and interested. It baits them in. So I just think because the fight's distributed through TikTok Live, the potential audience is much broader than the traditional boxing audience. And with the right commentary, you could keep the casual engaged. So the big question, Manzur, can she survive? I mean, that's what makes it compelling. You know, Serrano needs one more knockout. Manzur needs to make her fight 24 minutes. And if Manzur survives the early storm, suddenly the pressure starts moving towards Serrano to close the show. And every round that passes without a stoppage creates another question. Is the record gonna happen on this night? That's what makes this more than a title fight. It's a legacy fight. So we just gotta wait and see how it all plays out. But I'm gonna tell you right now, one more stoppage will give Serrano 33 KOs and sole possession of the record. One knockout away from making women's boxing history. Anyway, I think she's gonna be able to get the job done. But I'm not sleeping on Manzur. She can shock the world and prevent the record from falling. But I just don't know if she's gonna be able to do it. Because Serrano is a beast. Puerto Rican beast, man. And she may come in that ring and sprinkle that Saison con Achiote and have Manzur in there sneezing and getting that ass blasted from pillar to post, man, and Serrano get a KO. Anyway, man, shout out to Serrano, man. And Manzur, you know, I want to see a good fight. I'll probably be locked in. I may go live for it if I'm not out fishing and shit. Supposed to go back to the coast, catch some of them kingfish, boy. But if I'm not, I'll probably be live for it because I want to see her make history. That being said, y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.